I want to say something just really quickly because I'm saying it in my head, and I think I want to like explain it on a camera. But yeah, I feel like this world is just a planet full of demons, and you want to kill the demons, and the demons want and then the good people want the demons to be killed too. The problem is you can't kill the demons. Why? Because the demons in law enforcement and the demons in the court systems will put you in prison, and lock you up over it. And you also can't kill the demons, or you can't make it legal to kill demons. Why? Because everyone will just be killing each other, because basically the whole planet is full of demons, and the demons are who are the demons think that they're fine, but all the other people are the bad problem. And therefore you can't have these laws that say that it's fine to kill demons. But what needs to happen is I need to go into a house where um, I try and gather up, not the elect, but I gather up just people who like me, people who believe that I might be Christ, and then I kind of like just have like a small bubble of people, or just find out who believes me. I know there's a lot of people that will not believe me, that are not capable of believing me, and yeah, I don't even know if like I even need like that many people watching. If there's only just like 1% of the world, or maybe less, five, maybe more. I don't know, 5%. If I can just focus on like a couple, or just find out who believes me, and then draw them to me, onto like some sort of small TV show, but a small platform. So something like a TV show that you would only find online. But yeah, I don't know how I would work out who actually believes me and who's just lying, because I know that there'll be a lot of people pretending that they believe me when really they're just seeing it as a joke or something. There's a lot of people. I've come across a lot of people like that who might nod when I see them, and say they believe, and then clearly they don't believe at all. Um, you know, but yeah, and then talk about the other world and stuff. I actually mentioned some yesterday, just some random names that I thought stood out. Draconians, they do stand out, but I kind of like, if I was to imagine what a draconian is, I'd kind of imagine like big, strong, kind of masculine guys, because it sounds like Drake, or some sort of, it sounds like a kind of masculine name. I find so, a draconian, I don't know, but I would I know there's a Gaia show that are kind of like making up lots of sort of fantasy stories and stuff. Do they know how much of this is real and how much is not? I don't know. But yeah, I know there was a lot of talk. I couldn't quite understand like what they believe or what they're teaching and stuff. But yeah, I don't, because I don't think we should say that they're actually, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Maybe that we should say that they're here. I don't know. But I think when it comes to the government, I think they need to be very much like, we're just focused on this technology that we have that can get to other planets, and I don't know how that's going to like align, because I want the government to make some sort of announcement that the Galactic Federation is a real thing, and that they contact some people through the mind, and this is how people have been getting technology. This is how we have AI and Chat GPT, and this is how computers have gone from just being like a big ugly box to actually being like on your phone and in the if you say that this technology was actually coming from the Galactic Federation, and this Galactic Federation linked to 12 different tribes. I mean, I was thinking maybe 12 in the Milky Way, but Pleiadians I think is outside. So if they are one of the 12, then I guess it could be like BRICS or something, where they just randomly pick out different countries and connect with, and maybe there are more. So I don't know how that would tie in with the whole Gaia channel that I've just had a look at now, or yesterday. But yeah, I think that's what you should say. But just try and talking about a very loose amount, saying we don't know huge amounts, but we know that this group of people have been contacting us. We have got our technology from there. We know that we can trust them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be helping us. Our technology has helped us and it's inspired us. So we know that these people, this group is friendly. I like the idea of there being like a robot land where you can be birthed into it as a sort of fleshly being, but as you grow up, like say if you lose an arm or something, you can actually have it changed into like an arm, like a robot arm, and eventually, as you get older, or as you get older, that your body will deteriorate to a point where you no longer want to look like a certain way, and then you can transfer your soul into an actual robot. And you could say that there is a planet where they've already got this technology, they've already achieved it, but they haven't. We can't do it on Earth right now because we haven't got the right materials. You could say that there is a planet that has the right materials to create this extra energy or whatever that allows it. So you can give people, like, talk about all these different planets and what happens. Syrian, this Syrians, I think it is, or I don't know, but that sounds like Syria. So if there was a planet full of Islamic type culture, and if there was a planet in the Milky Way that was full of Islamic type people, I would probably call them the Syrians, because it sounds like Syria, and you could even say that Syria was named after this planet, and yeah, I also think of like the Syrian hamster, but yeah, I just, I kind of like. You can get imaginative with it, but I think that's a really good idea, because it would open people's minds up to this possibility, and then at some point you would need to talk about AJ Miller perhaps and see who believes him, talk about me and see who believes that I am the real Eve, and I would be saying that I want to find out who are my people. I've been going through a birth in the last 12 years. I would say that I'm confused as to why no one's talking to me, or why no one's helping me. You've been talking about aliens for a very long time, but I can't just tell people that I'm an alien because no one believes me. I can say that this, and I would say that I'm from the Anunnaki tribe. I actually believe that I made it, so I'm like the queen of that tribe, I think, because I'm very experienced. You can tell from this timeline that I've been doing lots and lots of timelines, because I've been able to create loads of songs and actually talk to them, and I seem to be doing it on a very regular basis. So I'm obviously very, very experienced at this, and I always believed that I kind of was, actually, when I was a child, when I was fantasizing about how to be a god. I used to do that quite a lot, and it almost felt like it made sense to me, even though it was always just in a kind of imaginary state of mind. But yeah, I do believe that I'm very, very old, and I do believe that I probably own that tribe. But for some reason, people, as soon as people see me face to face, they belittle me and just think, well, you can't be a god because you're a human. How can a human be a god? That they would have this kind of mentality, even though some of these people still believe in Jesus, but they see Jesus as being something that's like above human. Jesus died, and therefore he ascended and became more than human, and well, you're still just a human. So that's how they see it, even though I believe that I'm hugely old, and I've done loads and loads of timelines, hence I've been just a human many, many times, and that doesn't mean that I'm not a god. Just because I'm just a human, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to become a god and then go back to being just a human on my next timeline. But a lot of humans just don't think logically, I don't think. They would see a real person and just think there can't be any truth to that, because that's just a human, that's just like me, that there's nothing special about you. And there's so many people that kind of believe that, and they have their own fantasies, their own views. And so I'd like there to be me trying to gather up the people who can believe, the people who do like me, the people who do find me interesting, or interesting enough to actually want to know about me, not just, oh, you're interesting, yeah, you're special, you're different. I get a lot of people that say, yeah, you're special, you're different, you're just not a god, you're just not that important. And why do you think I'm special and different, that I'm not a liar, that I wouldn't say things that I don't think are the truth, and that I'm, why wouldn't you think that I can tell the truth? Why do you keep wanting to just put me down and make out that I'm like nothing, or just a normal person? I don't know why people keep doing that, whilst also confessing that they think that I'm different or unusual or something like that. And it's just, I don't know, but I'd like to tell the difference between them who literally can accept that I am God versus them that really can't. And I don't know how many people, it's probably a very, very small percentage, but I want my life to be better. And so the idea of going into a house and then just finding like a small collection of people who, if they want to call themselves Elon or something, I don't that sounds okay. I don't mind the one, but I don't know. I was just thinking that, and then yeah, I understand why you can't just it can't be legal to kill demons. Why? Because demons don't think that they're demons. They think other people are the demons, and they like to blame all their faults on other people and say, but yeah, I know that when people see me and when they hear me, their spirit will be led to believe me or to not believe me, depending on what their role is, or it's complicated. But I want to be happy, and I want a nice big house where I can just blank out the whole world and just focus on me and a small group of people.